for themselves. And for me, the one thing I will say is that most of the numbers aren't really that surprising to me, the demographics that I'm going to go over today. It's more saddening. It's that we have this vexing issue, and it's really a confirmation for me that we have this problem that we need to solve. So we encountered 1,536 people, 1,173 surveys were completed county-wide, and of those, 932 were ranked vulnerable with a high mortality risk. And Dr. Wada is going to come up here after I'm through with my slides to go over the vulnerability index and what gets somebody ranked high on that index and put on the list. And he will also go over the medical condition findings that we found. Everybody wanted to know, give us information of where you found these folks by region. Where are they most highly concentrated? And as you can see, looking at this chart, Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, highest concentrations. These are your urbanized, your largest urbanized core areas throughout the county. That's where you're going to find them. And it was just, again, more confirmation for me. And here's a graph of that same information. I don't think I can go back, but hopefully you have the handout in front of you. That's correct. There was also the question of where are these people staying on the streets, or are they in cars, or are they in shelters? We thought that was important information to get out. And as you can see on these individual surveys for the folks that are eligible and at risk, majority are on the street, either street, vehicle, or shelter. And we also asked the question, what was your location before you became homeless? And North County, 23.1%. South County, 27.6%. Other parts, 22.9%. I won't read these down here. Point is, half of the folks were already here when they became homeless. And this was another important question that we thought was important for our communities to know, is what were your reasons for locating to Santa Barbara if you were one of those respondents that said that you lived outside of the county when you became homeless? And these are the different reasons that people could pick. They could say friends, family, jobs, services, climate, other. They could also choose multiple. So I want to make that clear that some of the participants listed multiple reasons, but the question is, are services drawing people here because of all that we offer? Only 5% of the people, just over 5%, indicated that it was services. The majority of the people said, I'm going where my family is, I'm going where friends are, jobs. I mean, if I became homeless, first place I would go is where my family is located, I think. So. And again, that not listed number on this question, a large portion of those are because they were already here. They didn't answer that question because they were already part of this community. Another geographical representation of that same question. Other general demographic information that you might find interesting. Percentage of males and females that we surveyed, nearly 3/4 are males. Veterans, 15%, that's right in line with national averages. Youth under 25, there's 8%, and then elderly, 62 and older, 69 people we surveyed are 62 and older living on the streets. Average age, 41. Oldest individual actually surveyed, 78. Youngest individual we came across, at least by the birth date that they listed, was 12 years old. 12. Average time homeless, 7 years. 16% of those surveyed indicated they'd been through the foster care system at one point in their life. And here's another interesting piece of information are the number that responded that they've been incarcerated either in the jail system or through prison. 77% jail, prison 24% responded. And if you extrapolate that number using the California Department of Corrections information, the cost through the jails and prisons by just them, that's just using one time for each, is $13,599,380. That's money that maybe could be redirected elsewhere if we could, get them into housing and supportive services. Education level, it's kind of ran the gamut. A lot of them, 211 of the respondents indicate they're high school graduates. Another 71 college graduates. So it's kind of, I kind of expected the numbers to be higher at, with just some high school or K through 8, but it just goes to show you this homelessness is affecting everyone regardless of their education level. Income, we wanted to find out the income, where people are getting the money to live by, who are on the street, and a good portion of them are working. A lot of them SSDI. Very few of them answered sex trade or drug trade. There's 14% say panhandling. So that's just trying to put out the information here, and that's what they came up with. And then 419 participants listed multiple sources of income. And then here's the race, ethnicity, demographics. It's really different from national, and that's just because our demographics are different. The African American population is different here in the county than it is nationally, and we're going to have that skewed. The lower number. Our Caucasian information it's higher here than national. So just wanted to put that. I thought that might be interesting for some of you. We also did a family survey. We're one of the first communities to put out a separate family surveys. If we ran across any families that are homeless, either in shelters or on the streets, we wanted to get their information as well. And there's a separate ranking system for their vulnerability index. In other words, if the mother is pregnant, that gets you a point for vulnerability. If you have a child under 6, that gets you a point on the vulnerability index. So it's a different list that we're keeping for the family information. There were 134 surveys. Of those, 130 found vulnerable. Again, 97% of those families surveyed are vulnerable. Average time homeless, 1.8 years. Less than the individual. Remember, the individual was 7 years. It's dropped to 1.8 years. And the average age of the head of household, 32.9. And the gender of the head of household is largely females. We're largely running across females with the children. Currently pregnant, 10. This was as of the date of the survey. So, might have changed a little bit. Adults reporting victim of sex abuse as a child, 46% of the respondents indicated that they did suffer from that kind of abuse. And 69 of other types of domestic abuse. And 16 said they'd been a victim of violent attacks since they become homeless. And then the number of children, total number of children, from the 130 most vulnerable, 221. 14 are less than 1 year old. 92, 1 to 5. And 16 listed they have a child with a serious medical condition. And then this, more anecdotal information, not from the survey itself, but from other information that we've received recently from Orcutt School District, is that they're noting that 450 students are identified as being homeless. And Santa Maria School District, 557 are identified as doubled up, and 38 actually being homeless. So, and it just goes to show that we have a big problem. We're not doing right by these children. We need to do something different.